after high school, obviously you thought about university. And why did you decide then to go to Queensland University for your first degree?
Really, it was just a matter of convenience. I was educated in Brisbane. My family was there as well. At that time, the university was mainly focused on metamorphic petrology through Alan Wilson, and paleontology with Dorothy Hill, who was one of Australia's great paleontologists. So it was just coincidence or convenience, and although I will say at the time there was a good structural course, and the economic geology course was certainly very interesting. Another aspect of UQ at that time was when I first met Hugo Dummett, and he was just commencing his PhD on Moonmera.
While at QU, you had a number of vacation jobs, and does any one of them stand out in your memory?
I was always keen to get field experience, and so at the end of my first year I was successful in obtaining a field assistant's job with Carpentaria Exploration. This was essentially a soil sampling program in the Chillagoe district in North Queensland. It was 10 weeks on, and if you completed the 10 weeks you were paid the princely sum of $40 a month. But what it did do for me, it allowed me to look at other deposits in the district, because Chillagoe was heavily endowed with various kinds of mineral deposits. So it was a great opportunity to look and collect different rocks. And then the next year I had a vacation job.
Can I just ask a brief question, interrupt you here? I'm sure there may be many young students early in their career at university wondering how they can get their first vacation job. So what was what was your magic touch that got you the job at Chillagoe?
Door knocking.
Door knocking, okay.
Yeah, you certainly have to be proactive, especially right at the beginning of your career, because you really have to make the effort to look for opportunities.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah,
Go,
no problem
carry
at
on.
all, anytime. Yeah. So the following year I went to North Queensland again. Jobs were much harder to find, and so on this occasion I drove myself to North Queensland, and I went round some of the mining operations to see if I could find anything actually, as long as it was some experience. So I ended up at an underground tungsten mine called Wolfram Camp, and the mine manager was really a nice chap. His name was Taffy Perkins, and
He was Welsh.
Obviously, yes. So anyway, he saw that I was desperate for any kind of experience, and I'm sure he actually created something for me, but he said, okay, we can take you on as a surveyor's assistant, which was a fancy term for holding a theodolite underground. But what this did for me was gave me some underground experience, which is something that I really appreciated and I never had. Another interesting part of this experience was Ian Plimer was doing his PhD at Wolfram Camp, and both of us were very serious mineral collectors, so every opportunity I had I hung out with Ian, because he was always the first person in the stope after the blast to collect minerals, and this eventually became a serious concern for the mine geologist Barry Goss, because he saw all of his native bismuth and wolframite crystals production going into our rooms, and it was a lot of fun, but it gave me the opportunity to get some underground experience. So that was well and good.
So would it be fair to say that you began, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but did you begin thinking in 3D at that time?
That's a very good question. What it did, yes, obviously it gave me an opportunity to see what a mine actually is, and the various challenges, the mining techniques, and also the mill. So it was my first exposure, I suppose, to the E in economic geology.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then the final experience was a little different. Given that I was probably the youngest subscriber to the Queensland Government Mining Journal, I saw an advertisement where they were advertising for drillers to work for the Geologic Survey of Queensland. And as part of this, they were offering a training course, a 2-week course on drilling. So I thought to myself, this could be really interesting. So I went down to the survey and I explained that I wasn't working for the government, that I was a student, but I would like to get some insights into the drilling industry. And this was very favourably received, so they said, okay, yes, you're welcome to the course. So I spent 2 weeks at their drilling division on the outskirts of Brisbane at Darra, together with some drillers who were fairly large folk and quite frightening actually. But after a couple of days that was sorted out, and so over a 2-week period I learned the basics of drilling and that part of the industry. So with those 3 experiences I at least had some introduction into exploration, underground mining, and how a diamond drill works.